So, welcome. Delighted to be here with you, to see some familiar faces, lots of new faces. And I'm Erin, as Jonathan mentioned, and a trainer at the Mindfulness Center. And so we've decided to start introducing topics each month and do a short offering on them. So I chose the topic today of non-judging in mindfulness. And I chose it because, uh, as John Kabat-Zinn describes mindfulness, he uses this word non-judgment, and it's really misunderstood a lot. And, and so I wanted to talk about it today. Before I get started, just curious about how many of you have meditated already? I see a show of hands. Okay. Is anyone new? Is anyone new to meditation? Okay, great. All right, that's helpful to know. So with this idea of non-judgment, the thing with it is, first of all, one of the first things you might notice when you start practicing mindfulness is that there are lots of judgment, that there's kind of this stream of judgments, sometimes when you're meditating, often throughout the day, that whatever experiences you're meeting, there's this liking or not liking, sometimes neutral. It has to be neutral sometimes because there's so much we're taking in at any given moment. But there's often this, oh, I like that. I want more. I don't like that. I want to move away from that. And it goes on and on. And it tends to have this black and white quality of yes, no, and it's kind of a jerk reaction, which is going on behind the scenes all the time, whether we're aware of it or not. And so non-judging doesn't mean stopping that. And some people run into trouble when they hear that word, oh, I'm not supposed to judge. They think that the practice of mindfulness is going to make judging go away. I don't know anyone for whom that's the case. It's certainly not the case for me. It continues alive and well in me. What non-judging means is this noticing of it. And in the noticing, then I actually have agency. There's freedom in that non-judging because now I don't have to get carried away in whatever that judgment is telling me. I don't like that, so I need to move away, or I need to try to get more of that. There's this awareness of that happening. Some of the time, it's not possible to catch it all. And it's particularly important in the practice of mindfulness. It looks like a good many of you, if not all, are practitioners of mindfulness. And so undoubtedly, if you've even done it once, you've noticed the way that when you're practicing, often an introductory way of practicing is an invitation to bring your attention to something. Could be the breath, could be the body, could be sound. There are many different things you could bring your attention to, but there's this invitation to bring your attention to something and rest it there. And then inevitably the mind wanders off. And when you notice it's wandered off, you're invited to bring the attention back kindly. But what happens is, for so many people, that there's this belief of, oh, I'm meditating, and so that shouldn't be happening. That I'm not doing a good job if my mind is wandering off. And now there's this judgment, oh, I'm not doing it right. I'm not very good at mindfulness. There's a problem here because my mind is wandering. And the quality of mindfulness, the capacity to be mindful, is supported by a number of different attitudes, which are soft and curious and inviting and welcoming. And this quality of judgment tends to push mindfulness away. tends to cause us to go more into our minds and actually think more thoughts. And one of the things I like about offering mindfulness is I can make some remarks. I can tell you how things are in my experience, but you don't have to believe anything I say. So a healthy skepticism is welcome, and an invitation to try any of this out for yourself and see for yourself what happens when you are judging of yourself when you're meditating. Does that invite more quieting of the mind, or does it stir up more thoughts? This can be observed in yourself. So judging. We haven't been together very long, but undoubtedly you've already made some judgments. You had some idea, whether you thought about it or not, about what this would be like. And then here are Jonathan and me, and maybe you've had some judgments about our appearances or our backgrounds or who knows what we're wearing. They just happen. They just happen. Maybe you have judgments about other people in the room. We're creatures that are in community, and so we notice things. So what I'd like to do right now is just invite you to take a look at judgments. Maybe you're already looking at them as I'm speaking, but in a particular way. I'm going to say some sentences. They're just random sentences. For the most part, I don't actually believe anything I'm saying. I'm just going to say some sentences, and then I'm going to pause after each one. If you want, you can close your eyes. You can keep your eyes open. It doesn't matter. But the invitation is to notice when I say one of these sentences, does anything happen? Does my mind go into any judgment? Is there a liking, a not liking? And to notice it and then just come back without getting carried away with it. Does that make sense? Okay. So we'll give it a try. Just see what happens. All right. So every room should be painted the color blue of my room. I love when the clocks change for daylight savings time. It's going to be sunny for the next 5 days straight. I think you should eat lots of broccoli. I'm glad you decided to come today. All right. So I'm curious if any judgments arose for you. If you want to open up the chat and type a few words, if you noticed any judgments about any of those, I'd be curious to hear or see what you may or may not have noticed. Blue room, that's silly. Disagreement. Sunny days ahead sounds good. So some liking there. Yeah, judgments go both ways. I like this. I don't like that. I notice judgments on all of them, sometimes agreeing, sometimes disagreeing. Yeah. Agree, like, disagree, dislike. Some things made partial sense, not enough to insist on. So this like stepping back, I'm not really buying all of these things. Change to daylight was neutral. Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to argue with you about your perspective. Yeah. And with the setup in that way, did you notice it was relatively easy to disengage, or did you ever get caught up? So thumbs up if it was relatively easy to disengage from those thoughts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thumbs down if it was hard. Yeah, yeah. So even some random thoughts that I don't even necessarily believe, yeah, can be provocative. That we have opinions about things. So this is a really important aspect of mindfulness. This way in which we can notice this judging happening all of the time. So what I'd like to do, well, actually, before we go there, I want to invite you to think about a time recently or more distant when someone criticized you, told you you did something wrong, and had some feedback about how you should have done it better. Just pause to think about that. And as you're thinking about it, reflect, how did that make you feel? Did it make you feel motivated? I want to do better. Was it discouraging? How did it affect how you felt at the time? And then on the other side, think about a time when you were struggling and someone offered encouragement and was really supportive of you in a difficult time when maybe you didn't have such positive thoughts, and think about how that felt and notice whether that was motivating or not. Okay. So noticing which felt more supportive to you in terms of making a change, making an improvement in a situation. And then this noticing of the voice in your mind when you're practicing mindfulness and how maybe sometimes it can be quite critical. Oh, there goes your mind wandering again. And this way in which we can be so critical of ourselves, and the way in which, as I said earlier, that can really generate a lot more thinking and not be particularly supportive. And so this invitation to bring this supportive voice that you may have heard in another situation to yourself when you're practicing. That this is kind of a balancing of the non-judgment. Here's the judging arising, and so I'm going to bring this soft voice to it and not get caught up in it. So what I'd like to do is a meditation, a guided meditation of about 10 minutes, in which you'll be invited to pick something to rest your attention. And the invitation in this meditation is to notice judgments as they arise, and then bring kindness to it and come back to your anchor. See if you cannot get carried away in the judgments. Any questions about that? All right, then let's give it a try. So if you like, you can close your eyes. You don't have to. You can look downward if that feels more supportive. You can bring attention, if you like, to the fact that you are here right now, that your body is here. You might even notice what it feels like to be sitting in your chair right now, or cushion, whatever you're sitting on. What sensations tell you that you are present? That you're seated in this way. Curious attention. Then you might shift your attention down into your feet, noticing how they're meeting the floor, if in fact they're touching the floor. Maybe aware of shoes or socks or both on your feet, maybe not. What sensations are you aware as you notice your feet. As your attention wanders off and you notice it, gently guiding your attention back to wherever we are. Inviting this quality of non-judging. And then if you like, if it seems workable for you, you might shift your attention to breathing happening right in your belly. If that doesn't feel workable, you can leave your attention somewhere in your body. But if it feels okay, you might notice what it's like to be breathing. The drawing of the air in and the way the belly fills, expands. And then the release on the out breath. And shifting the attention up to the area of the chest, noticing breathing happening here. The way the ribs expand on the in-breath. The release on the out-breath. Not trying to change your breathing and make it in any particular way, a simple noticing. Aware of judgments as they arise, and just letting them be. Shifting up to your nose and noticing what the breath is like here, maybe right at the tips of the nostrils. Are you breathing in through one or both? What sensations tell you this is so? Curious. And then letting go of the sensation of breath, not pushing it away, still there, always there. And shifting now to sounds. This is a receptive way of receiving sound, of not going out and looking for sound or trying to identify the sounds even. And simply noticing sake for the sake of sound. Gently bringing the attention back when your mind wanders off. And now considering these different places where you might anchor your attention, right in the area of the buttocks and the thighs where your body is making contact with the chair, or your feet, or your breath in your belly, your chest or nose, or sound. Each of these an anchor place, a place to rest the attention. Picking one for yourself now, the one maybe that feels most accessible. If you're not sure, you can pick anyone. And now gently resting your attention on this one place. This intention to rest the attention here doesn't mean it will stay. And that's okay. Returning again and again. Noticing what happens when you notice judgments. What happens in that moment of noticing? Nothing to accomplish, no goal. Simply a noticing of your anchor, and then a noticing when the mind has wandered off. Gentle returning to this moment again and again. Here, now. Here, now. In a moment, you'll hear a bell ringing to signal the end of this practice. And when you hear that bell, if you like, you can listen to it till you can't hear it anymore. Opening your eyes when you feel ready. Hey, thank you. I already saw someone stretching. If you want to stretch a bit, that can feel good.